Today we like to demonstrate how to install the PinPoint software and show and explain how to use it and what is a typical workflow. In the beginning, we go to our website Scanner2GO.com and we go to support section, and then we search for download PinPoint. And you should get an page here, and if you look it up, you will see the download link for the software. Just download the software then, and after downloading, you just double click it to install it. I moved this little thing here away, and then just double clicking the download, and it will install the PinPoint software. What you do need to understand is deleting the installation file first, that PinPoint installs two different programs. The one is the registration tool, and the other one is the PinPoint main module, or we call it internally PinPoint model, where you create your data or you analyze your point cloud data. So, but for the beginning, let's start and open the registration tool. So double click on the registration tool so we can create our first project. I do have already in license here on my machine. We put a link down below so you can get your free trial version of PinPoint very easily. And don't be worried, PinPoint is in English, so it's very easy for you to use. It's more that the German customers complaining that we don't have, or that SCASA is not supporting a German version so far. But anyway, after installing it, go to create and then select a folder. So I will save it here directly on the desktop, and I will call it PinPoint Workflow. And then click on Save to store it on the desktop. So if we move the program beside again, we can see here the project and the folder with the data. And of course, we like to import some data. We have here an RTC data set. We can see we have here the typical project file from RTC data. So what we're going to do is we go on File, and then we go to Import. And then you can see you can import several data. Faro, for example, you can use the E57 file. But also it's possible to import the raw data from the BLK360. And in our case, we will import the raw data from the Leica RTC. So select the RTC project file, this little 0 kilobyte file, and then click Open. And that will bring in all your scans. And you can see we made several scans here. And especially the one here we made with medium resolution. And because all these other are in low resolution, we like to change the import also to import it as low resolution, so we have them in the same quality or the same resolution. And then on the outside, we keep it medium. We have only these two here, what are the connection from inside to outside probably, so that will be fine. And then on the bottom here, you see we can colorize the scan points directly while importing it, and we can import the panorama images from the raw data from the RTC. After pushing the import button, you will see that your computer starts working now. You can open the task manager just to see your CPU power or usage. And as you see in this case, I have a pretty, actually pretty good laptop with 4 point something gigahertz on speed. It's a little bit overclocked, and I have 16 kernels working here, and it's an i9. So yeah, you see, you need power for this. Have a little bit patient to import these scanning data. As you know, it's not actually the point cloud what's taking so much power. It's more the development of the panorama images. But anyway, we will measure the time. In this case, we imported already one scan. It took 2 minutes. And now we will make another cut to jump back into the project after the import is done, and then we will let you know how many scans we imported and how long it took to bring it in. So next day, all data are imported. Actually, I forgot to stop the time, but it took a while for sure. So you can set up the cloud resolution, how the point cloud will look like in your viewer. So let's set this on moderate and load a first point cloud. And you can see, yeah, it you can understand the scene, but it's not so many details into it. So let's update this to very high and compare it to the view we had before. If you push the update button, then it will reload the data, and you can see we have a lot more details now with this view. So I prefer to use the high resolution to have a better understanding or easier understanding of the scene. So let's load all the data. In the background, the loading process is always happen the first time you load the data. After that, you just click it on and off. It will be very quickly done. So a little reminder, push the R key on your keyboard to switch between these two view modes. Coming to now to backface culling, you see we don't see this wall here. We have an option where you can turn on and turn off the backface culling. Just go to view and then uh, activate or deactivate the specific function. And now you see we will also see these walls now. So now we see all the points of our scan, even from the backside. So you can turn this on and off. Next point we need to talk is the zoom function. You can zoom in and out using your mouse wheel, but you will see there's a limitation. So the limitation is set by defining the rotation point, so to make it more comfortable to navigate. So if you like to zoom out or in all the way, use the following options. Hold down your shift key and then move your mouse forward and backward while clicking the right mouse button. And then you can zoom in all the way in or all the way out, depending again on your need. Okay, I guess I'm going a little bit too crazy now. But anyway, it's very important that you understand if you hit the border or the limit of your mouse wheel, then set your rotation point on a new position or use the shift button, the shift key on your keyboard and move your mouse forward and backward. Next thing is clipping planes. Under view, you have the function set clipping plane. And here, of course, you can define clipping planes, so you can cut off your ceiling and your floor, for example, to get an easier view. Clipping planes also very useful if you like to clean your point cloud. If you define clipping planes, you will only delete the points what are visible. So don't worry about all these invisible points in the background. You can clean here very simply. If you don't like the perspective view, you can also switch to orthographic view. Just push the O key on your keyboard or go view and then the orthographic view. Let's come to the registration. You see all data are loaded now. Let's hide the outside scans for now. So we have only two groups what we need to align to each other. Then I activate the move function for one group and I just move it around a little bit so I can better look into it. What I'm doing next is I'm searching for the scan with the overlap from the first floor to the second floor. And in this case, it will be, I went up these stairs here, it will be this scan. So if I make a left click on it, it pops up on the left side. So I know this is the scan what I like to use. So I can just turn off all these other scans while clicking the spacebar. And then I'm jumping to the other group. I turn all my scans here. That's here on the top. And I'm looking for the connecting scan. And same thing, I'm looking for the stairs. And I made a scan here on the end of the stairs. So this scan needs to be connected to these other. So what I'm doing now is I'm also just leave these one scan on. So I have now only two scans visible. So it's very easy to align them. I just drag them in the right position. I'm switching to orthographic mode because it's easier to see then. And then I just bring it roughly in a position. You don't have to be so accurate, just that you give them a rough orientation. And then, of course, you have to check the height. Probably the height will be the biggest issue in this case. And if you go to the side view, just turn it around and then you see this little Z-X here. And if you click on the Z-X, you can move the scan up and down. So just bring it rough in the right position. So then verify it finally from the top view. And then we just push snap scans. And you can see how the scans jumps into the right position. You can also push it several times and it will move a little bit closer all the time. But for now, we just need the rough orientation or the rough alignment because we will do the bundle calculation later on when with a higher quality. So then we like to create a snapshot of this registration. So PinPoint has a option what is called take a snapshot, and we can save these registration under a specific name, so we can jump back and forward if we make any big mistake later on. We can just go to the manager and jump back to the specific registration. It's just for now to demonstrate you that you have this option that you can jump back if you make a big mistake. So let's come to the outside scans. So same story. We turn it on the outside and we are searching for the scan inside the stairs. So we like to search for the two overlapping scans here as well. In this case, we see the red scan here. This is the one we need, where we did the connection to the outside. Or let's describe it a different way. When we scanned the outside, we did two scans inside the building to have these connections. So if we turn on our outside scans, we see here the building and we see here in front of, we did the scan in front of the door and then we jumped into the door. We did this and then we did another scan up here, the stairs, what is probably the same position like the scan we have in the first floor. So long story short, we activate both scans. We activate the move function for the whole group of the facade or of the outside, and then we switching to the orthographic mode again, we move it in the right direction. We turn the scan if holding down the shift key and just making a left click and then just rotate it. And then same thing, make sure the scans are on the same height. We see we have a big deviation here. So bring it in the right position. And then again, we just hit snap scan. And because it's on nearby, we don't have to be very close. It has a big radius to search for relating scans. When you see one click, it's jumping in the right position. And that's pretty much it is. And now we can turn on all scans and have a look to our project. It looks actually pretty good so far. But remember, we didn't do the bundle calculation yet. So finally, what we will do, we activate the move function for all scans. So each scan can be connected by each other. We set our cloud distance to very close because the rough registration is done. And then once again, we push the snap scan button.
Nachdem die Berechnung abgeschlossen ist, schauen wir nun auf die Statistik.
Therefore, click on the statistics button on top, and then you see the quality of the registration, the overlap, so you can indicate if you have a wrong scan into it. And if you find one what is not correct, you can just click on these specific scan, and if you look to the left side, it will be marked. So you will easily be able to find it and then turn on and turn off the neighbors of the scan to check if there is an issue, if you have to look into the registration again or not. In addition, you can show the attraction lines. So that gives you, that indicates where the cloud to cloud was calculated, and you can see if you have a big issue here or a big mistake, then you will see a vector what demonstrates, oh, there's a big deviation between two scans. So it's good for now. I would say that's our final registration. Let's make a snapshot from it. So we have the status also saved in our snapshots. And then I like to come to the top-down feature. The top-down function is here on the top. If you push this button, PinPoint will switch into
Ich blende dann gerne die Scan-Position aus,
also
for example,
indem man einfach die
P-Taste drückt.
So
und dann halten Sie einfach die Alt-Taste gedrückt und bewegen die Maus dann vor und zurück mit bei gedrückter rechter Maustaste. Und dann wandert dieser Schnitt halt durch das Objekt. Ich nutze die Funktion, um mein Projekt zu kontrollieren. Ich nutze es aber auch bei der Registrierung, um Scans zu ändern.
Verify and see if all the cloud-to-cloud registration was good. If you see here double lines, then of course you have to check again. So this is a very useful tool for checking your data and also for registration process. If you just put two scans together, it's a very useful tool. So now we turn off the backface culling so that we can see all these reflections from the windows. What makes the point cloud very noisy in this matter here. So let's talk a little bit about the cleanup function in PinPoint. So the main function, like all point cloud software has, is having a little lasso tool where you can select an area, and then if you invert the selection, you can delete all these outside from our building. I think more interesting is the function to delete these reflections from the windows. You see on the bottom of these cleaning tools, there is the second from the bottom. If you activate this function, this is very powerful to clean up it easily. So what we like to do here is we have many reflections from several scan positions, and we like to delete them all without picking each scan. So what we do here is we activate the function, and then we increase or decrease the size of this little green ball to
to catch the wall. Hold the Alt key down using your mouse wheel will decrease and increase the size of your ball. And then if you click on the wall, it will have a little bit patience, it will find this wall because it's doing the calculation in the background. It's taking a second. And then if you did so, you will see hold down the control button and then move your mouse forward and backward. So if I pushing the control key and I move my mouse forward and backward, I see this plane here moving forward and backward. So what I'm gonna do is I'm moving it to the right position, and this is probably in this position here. So I see everything behind these surface will be selected. And then finally I have to tell the software where should it look. So I have to define a border. It says here, define a polygon. So what we do is we select just a polygon over all of these three windows in one time. So I just click here and I move over with the middle mouse button and then go back here and click here. So now I have my rectangle and I finalize it with a double click somewhere. And then PinPoint will select automatically all these reflections on the outside. And you can see this here. And if I move up now, let's move to the outside so you can better see it. Here we go. And then you see, wow, all reflections are selected in one shot. And I just delete these now by hitting the trash can, and it's done. And I think that is really, really a powerful tool to clean up these crazy reflection you have, and you don't have to only to do it in 4 walls for a typical building, and it's done. Next thing is you have these little ghosts here inside our point cloud. That's probably me and from the doc from Alex. So we use this little tool here and we define a polygon again on the surface. So these polygon should surround the area, and when we are done, we finish it with a double click again, and then again just hit the control button and you will see there's a new layer showing up, a new plane. And now we define the height of the plane, so a little bit above the floor, and then just make a left click to define the first one, and then you see now it's having a second surface, a second level, and I put this above my head here in the point cloud, and then this area is selected, and once again it's done. Doc is done, I'm done. So very easy to clean. Then we have another tool. It's called select points behind the plane. Very, very powerful as well. Let's clean, for example, everything in front of this facade. So I just click on the surface here, and you can see again we have the symbol for finding a plane. And then again, just hold the control button down, move your mouse forward and backward, and you see we have a selection. So in this case, I will select, let's say, a little bit for this building here, walkway maybe. So, and of course, I don't like to delete the building here, so I will invert this selection and then delete it, and it's done as well. Then let's come to the little ball cleaning tool. If you move it around, you recognize that the size of the ball is jumping, so you see where you are. If I go on the shoulder here of this object or on the head, then the surface the ball is bigger than if I pick the wall in the background. So picking these points, you can clean up this area. You can also switch the size of this element again. while holding down the Alt key and using the mouse wheel. So you can select here step by step all these points, and then once again we delete these points. Like this, and okay, here I made a little mistake. You see, I picked some points in the background, but leave it for now. It's good for demonstration, the next tool. So I'm cleaning up this place here as well. Actually, I'm using more these other tools because it's a lot easier. But anyway, sometimes you need this tool. There's also a cleanup manager, just to little information here on the side, so you can create different storage where you can. So that means if you delete points, they are not really gone. You can replace them. So then we have this little rewind button here. If you click on this, you will see all your cleanups you made, and now you can pick the points you like to recover. So if I click here, let's set the rotation point on the wall, right click on it, and then hit R to rotate around the target, and then just click this. I just click this red button and you see points are back. Of course, a little bit of the person is back as well, but now I have to clean the person again, and then it's fine. So I don't lose the data, and I don't have to recover everything. I can do it. So that was the little overview about the cleaning tools in PinPoint. And let's finally jump to the last function we have here. And that is the level function. You see it here on the top. Let's go inside the building now to demonstrate this. Here, going back to the floor. So if you click on level, it gives you the option to define different heights. So let's say you like to define a point here, what has 0 and z height 0, then you just click here and you type in the height of the point. And so you can create 3 or 4 or 5 points to define the level of your project. But it's just a short view to this function here, because the SCADA team is working actually on it, and we will increase this function so also the surveyor can work with it in the future and apply its coordinates to the project when you work with a total station, or if you have some other project data what you like to use. And then yeah, we are done with all the stuff we need to do, and now we can export the data to E57. To recap, if you work in an Autodesk environment, or directly to PinPoint if you like to analyze the data with PinPoint. And in our case, we present PinPoint here, so we will open this project into PinPoint. And this is now the PinPoint model, so it's the second part of the software. You see, we will apply our cleanups. We can set up the resolution of the point, so how much detail we like to see, or how much detail we like to use to extract planes and stuff like this. So that's fine with 15 millimeters here. And the quality of the point cloud is high because it's an RTC scanner, so everything is fine. So we just on OK and starting the import. So that will take again a while. So I'm coming back if the import is done. So how you can work with the data in PinPoint, I will demonstrate in a second movie, so part 2 of this introduction. So you will see all the capabilities and get a brief overview what you can do. So thanks for now. Hope you liked the movie. Please drop us your comments so we know what is good and what is not so good, so we can improve our support in this matter.
Thanks a lot and see you the next time. Bye bye.